it can produce. And then you water, and then you actually vacuum it. So you flush this headspace with nitrogen so that you remove the oxygen. So now this is considered as a anaerobic process. So the bacteria from this inoculum will start to feed on this organic material and produce gas. You can see the bubbles there inside. Yeah, those are actually the biogas. So you can do different sizes, and then you try to plot them. So this is how the gas productions looks like over a period of time. And this is from my lab. We can actually do in a reactors like 10 liters. So we can also operate in a continuous, semi-continuous process. We can make a lot of biogas and measure the biogas and operate the reactor to see what is the best conditions to make more biogas from the systems. Now, here is the theoretical methane yields for the biogas. So if you take any basic substrates like carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, so this is the amount of biogas that can generate per gram organic matter. So that slide before you saw shows that the lipids, anything like chocolate, will give you the best methane yields. It will give you very high. It means like if you have 1 gram of chocolate, it will give you 1 liter of methane. And then the proteins, zero point 0.5 liters per gram VS, and then carbohydrates like your rice and anything like wheat straw, they give you about 415 milliliters per gram organic matter. Now, do you remember I said that we get it in different shapes? And so there are different concepts actually of the biogas plants. You can have a domestic household biogas plants. You can also have a farm scale biogas plant. And then you can also have a full scale commercial industrial biogas plants. So I'll talk about these basic concepts now. For the first one is the domestic or household biogas plants. So this is coming, this picture is coming from India. I think it's more or less same as in Indonesia. Also, you will have something similar. So what happens every day? So they will take about 2 buckets of cow manure and add 4 buckets of water, and then feed into this tank. This is a small tank that is connected to the biogas reactor behind. Now the top one is actually a floating drum. Right. So the material is underground. Actually, this tank is actually underground, and then as this material is the feed is fed into this feed tank, it will flow underground into this tank, and then it will start to produce biogas. As the bacteria is degrading the biogas, it will start to produce biogas, and that biogas will lift this drum. Now the green pipe, what you see here, this is actually a pipe that is connected to the kitchen. In the kitchen, this is used as a gas in the kitchen stove. So they can actually make about 3 meals per day using the gas that is coming from at least 2 cows. So if you have 2 cows, the amount of manure that the cow excrete can be used to produce the biogas that can be used for cooking per day. So you can also collect the gas, right? The gas, if you can't use it in your kitchen or if you have too much of biogas, it can also be collected in a plastic bag and then use it as a selling. You can sell it in the market. So in India, they sell the gas so that other homes can also use it as a fuel. Now here, if in Delhi, all this traffic, this is a tuk-tuk in Delhi, and you can see it's written as CNG, means compressed natural gas. So because they were running on petrol and there's a lot of pollution in Delhi, so now you will not see any public vehicles actually running on diesel in this city center. So they had to be all compressed natural gas. Now, this is the farm scale biogas concept now. So this is a farm in Finland where I did my PhD. And you can see that this farm has 40 cows and the manure, it's a dairy farm, okay? It's a dairy farm. And the farmer is actually a mechanical engineer, but he has built all these things. So he has 40 cows and those cows produce about 2,000 cubic meters of manure. And that manure is stored in this tank here underground, and then is fed into this biogas reactor. And the gas that is produced is used in combined heat and power plant, and that is for heat and electricity. It generates both heat and electricity at 85% efficiency. Now the heat is used for heating their home and or the barn, and then the electricity is used for the milking station. Because the dairy farm they have to milk, so they use the electricity for that, and also for his own home. But one day, he just started to feed it to his neighbor. So then it's like he's selling the electricity to neighbor at a different price. So that's like a big thing in Finland in those days. So then the material that is coming out from the biogas plant is stored in this tank, and we call that as a digestate. Now the digestate is stored for 1 year, so you can see it's a very big tank because it has to store all this 2,000 cubic meter material that is coming out of the biogas plant. And then he will spread it on his farm. This all that what you're seeing in the background is actually his farm. So it's about 70 hectares, and he applies on the field. Now you can see here very clearly, there's a light streak and dark green. So wherever he has applied this material, it's dark green. So that means that we can actually recycle all that material on the field as a fertilizer. The next thing what we did is that we started to clean the biogas. We removed the carbon dioxide and other contaminants and upgrade it to a vehicle fuel. And that is now used as a vehicle fuel. You can see here. So this farm actually has a dispenser. So it's similarly when you go, your parents are going to fill up your cars with petrol or diesel. So these cars actually, these are the dual fuel cars, means that they can run on both petrol and biogas. So they can come into the farm, fill up their tanks, and then drive on biogas. Now, in Denmark, they have another concept is the called centralized biogas plants. So these are where the 20 farmers, whether they can be dairy farms or poultry farms or pig farms, they come together and build a biogas plant. And this biogas plant can use their own waste and then make biogas. But these farmers are different because they collect all the waste and use it in their own biogas plant and then sell the biogas to a company. That company will then make electricity and heat and then sell it to the grid. So they are partnering with an industry who can actually produce heat and electricity from the biogas. And this is how it looks like. So they are huge. They are really big. So the trucks bring down the waste and feed it into this storage tanks, and then from the storage tanks they actually feed it into the biogas plants here, 1, 2, 3, and the gas that is produced is stored in this storage tank, and then feed it to the combined heat and power plant in this room or the building. And the digestion material is actually storing in these two tanks, big ones. So it's a big industry there. So if you have any questions, you can raise the hand here. And I mean, I'm very happy to take questions anytime you want to. So there's some chat, anybody? No. So this is my own pilot scale biogas plant at Griffith. So we tested the sugarcane biogas and as a feedstock. So in the front, you see there's 1.2 cubic meter stainless steel reactors. And then the gas that is produced, sorry? No? Yeah, the gas that is produced is stored in this 30 cubic meter storage tank. And then we are using the biogas upgrading unit, which is in the shipping container behind. So I can clean the gas and compress it and bottle them into these bottles. So I'm using it as a vehicle fuel. So you can also see these are some pictures from I think, Asia. And you can see all the bins that are collected in the houses actually come to a centralized facility. They'll separate as much as possible, and they only focus on the organic waste. So this organic waste is then this is like mostly like a puree. You can see here. Yeah, I know it's not good, it's disgusting, but this is the one that is actually the food waste that is coming from your hotels and from your homes, and that they will feed it to the biogas plants. Now, we had to also understand that the biogas can be dangerous in terms of pathogens. So because it is coming from the food waste and the restaurant waste, so we have to actually sanitize them. Means that if you want to apply on the agricultural lands, so that means these pathogens should not enter the food chain or your agriculture system. So what we do is that we actually heat the whole material that is going to the farmland at 70 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, right? So this is very important so we can actually kill the bacteria. Now, this is what happens in Jakarta, that what you have the big landfill, that is full of rubbish. So if you don't collect biogas plants, but these are considered as sanitary landfills, and this picture is coming from Finland. So basically, they they build the landfill. The bottom is lined, and then you have the gas wells, and also the leachate collection. So everything. So it means that nothing is actually leaking into the groundwater, and also if there's any gas, it's not actually emitted into the atmosphere. So the gas is actually collected, and the gas electricity in the system here. So in a landfill, what happens is that when you start to when you fill up the landfill and then close up the top, you will see that the gas starts to produce. Now this gas is produced over 20 years time. So you can actually start to use the landfill as a big biogas plant. So you can see that the oxygen, once you close the landfill, the oxygen concentration will decrease, and then slowly the carbon dioxide concentration starts to increase. So we are moving away from the aerobic process to anaerobic process. Once the anaerobic process is here, then you will see a steady production of the methane and carbon dioxide. And this will last for about 20 years. After that, you open the landfill because the organic matter is degraded. So now you can actually remove the material that is left over or start to fill up again with the fresh material. So the composition of the biogas is very, very important, and it is actually dependent on the type of feedstocks you are using. Let's say whether it's the food waste or the agricultural waste or the municipal waste or industrial waste. So then that will actually decide what's the gas composition, means that how much methane and carbon dioxide you have in that. So that is, you can see the numbers are changing. The methane content is changing depending on what the feedstock is. But the idea is that you should be able to ensure that the methane content is very high. So if you have the uses of the biogas, so the biogas can be used for three different purposes. So you can produce heat and electricity in a combined heat and power plant, or you can just produce heat in a boiler. But the efficiencies will remain more or less 85%. But if you use the biogas and clean it up and upgrade it to methane around 96%, then you can actually use it as a injection to the natural gas grid, or you can also compress it to 250 bars and use it as a vehicle fuel. So this is the highest purity biomethane, and it is also the most expensive one compared to the boiler and the combined heat and power plant. So what is happening during the cleaning process? Now, when you want to clean up the biogas for vehicle fuel or injecting in the grid, you basically have two things to do. First, you have to remove all the contaminants like hydrogen sulfide, the uh, siloxanes, ammonia, even dust. And then when you want to say upgrading, means once you have removed these contaminants, then you need to remove the carbon dioxide. So the cleaned biogas is then subjected to upgrading where carbon dioxide is removed by using different technologies. Then you get what you call the methane because everything is removed except the methane. Now, this methane is then used either to inject in the natural gas grid, or you can also compress it and use it as a vehicle fuel. This is how the process looks like. And I'll show you some of the technologies later on. But this is the contaminants we are talking about: dust, siloxanes, ammonia, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen sulfide, and water vapor. So all these are actually contaminants. So we have to remove them before we actually work with the removal of the carbon dioxide. So the last molecule that is left is your biomethane. So now you can see how we are moving from the raw biogas and then cleaning process and to the upgrading process. So there are many technologies for the biogas upgrading, but it depends on what you are planning to use. So you can actually select from different technologies like pressure swing absorption or chemical absorption, or you can also use the water scrubbing. So these are the main technologies used in the industry. I can show you the water scrubbing technology, how it works. So the biogas comes into this chamber where it is first compressed or condensed to 2 bars and then further compressed to 10 bars. So during this process, most of the siloxane impurities are removed. Then it is fed into a scrubbing column where the water is coming from the top and the gas is fixed volume of gas is actually in the scrubber. So as the tank is being filled with water, there is no space for the water or gas to go because it is water is filling the tank. So the gas is being compressed. So during this process, the carbon dioxide, which is soluble in the water, is actually absorbed to the water, but methane, which is insoluble in water, will remain in the gas phase. So then the methane is removed and dried and then reaching 98% or 96%. Then you can actually recycle this water with carbon dioxide by releasing the pressure and then recirculating the water back into the system. So here are some of the examples. So in Sweden, there is one city called the Linköping, and that is the only city that runs on biogas. Like the trucks, taxis, even the trains actually run on the biogas electricity. So it's a very famous city in Sweden. And then in Denmark, most of their electricity is actually coming from the biogas. Now, the last one that is the digestate. So the material that is left over in the biogas plant can be used as the fertilizers. So you can see that you can use it as it is as a liquid, or you can also separate them into solid and liquid fraction. The solid fraction can be applied in places where there's more requirement of phosphorus, and then the liquid is more nitrogen content. So depending on requirements of the land and the crop, you can decide whether you want to apply everything without separating, or you can separate them and improve the application rates. So as I said, this technology has two things, right? So it's not only managing your organic waste, but also it is actually managing the nutrients in the organic waste. And then in addition to generating the renewable energy in the form of methane. Right. So with that, I finished my lecture. And if you have any questions,
Okay, Pak Prasad, thank you for your presentation. So before we had a Q&A, there's a great honor to invite Professor Susana to deliver
okay,
an opening remark.
like
So
this.
we will start the opening remark first because before Prof. Susana has other activities. So, Professor Susana, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Udani. Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Prasad. Prof.
Thank you.
Prasad, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry because I have to attend the student community services
Uh,
in another building.
yeah,
Yeah, so I was late.
no, it's okay, fine.
But Mr. Prof. Prasad, I would say thank you very much for joining our program. This is, I think, the first time of our program. Uh, we try to gather some professor from many other
Yeah,
university, international university, uh, and probably later I would like also to invite you not only this meeting but in other activities, international activities in architecture department.
right, sure, sure.
Yeah. Actually, today we have two presenters.
Hmm,
One's from Netherlands,
hmm,
Mr. Bram. Yeah, and he's also joining this for the first time joining this program.
hmm.
Yeah. Uh, Professor Prasad, I would like to ask you because this is, I think, the very good moment for us to talk about a little. Uh, it's like a cooperation
Okay.
for
Yes,
the next future. Yeah.
yes.
Or maybe we will discuss later. But I would like to introduce some of international program that maybe later we can join together. It's like
Yes.
uh, joint research, and then visiting professor. We have that kind of program, and then also
Hmm.
we have uh, external examiner. If you don't
Ah,
mind, later we can
yes,
invite you as an external examiner. Is that
yes.
okay for you
Yes,
also?
okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Once again, I would like to say thank you very much for your joining this program, and I do hope that this program would be very grateful, would be very fruitful for our students, so that they can enhancing their knowledge. I do hope that my student next time could also join the international program, that they can really attend to your university probably,
Yes,
because we have some scholarship for the student to go abroad
yes.
and take some international conference like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Once again, thank you very much,
Thank you very much.
Prof. Prasad. Please, you can continue your presentation. And I ask permission to maybe I could not join this until the end of the program, and I hope that we can still keep contacting to discuss to have more further
Yeah.
discussion,
Yes.
yeah, about the international program. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much,
Thank
Professor.
you. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good
Bye bye.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ah,
Thank you,
before I left, maybe it's better for us to take picture, yeah, Budani,
Ah,
yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Ah,
So,
together with the student, maybe, yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So we took the picture first, Pak Prasad.
Yes.
Oh, before
Before
before I left. Okay.
teman-teman mahasiswa bisa di on cam-nya biar bisa terlihat beautiful, cute, and beautiful in front of. So just turn on your camera so we can see your face and Pak Prasad can uh,
But to see them.
your face.
Which year are there? Which year students?
Most of them
No, no. Which year? Year
Which
one, two,
year?
second year and
Second
second.
year.
Uh,
Yeah.
right.
okay. Okay, just smile and show your prettiest and handsome handsome face. Mbak Tarisa siap ya?
Okay.
Okay. There's a several slides, so give your smile in the long time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fourth slide. 1, 2, 3.
Masa berapa?
Fifth slide. 1, 2, 3.
Banyak sekali.
And last slide, sixth slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank
It's
you.
not goodbye first. It's not goodbye first. Okay, we can.
Terima kasih ya Bu Dani.
Ya,
Titik dulu ya.
Oke.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
So, Afif or
Uh,
Afif, if it's in chat
what is
room,
that?
do
Where is that?
you want to ask by yourself or do you want me to ask for you?
How metal can improve the quality of biogas? In your example, have a traditional and highlighted height in manufacturers. Yeah, so yeah, that's a very good question. So now, I think it would be nice if you come on and speak to me, then we
Yeah.
can have that. So let's say you have food waste, right? That's a very common, everyone knows that. So food waste has a very high protein. So if you have too much protein, means you have a lot of ammonia production in the process. And ammonia is not good for the bacteria because it's the same thing. Like, ammonia can enter the microbial cells and it can actually destroy them. So you want to change that. So you want to reduce the protein production. So then you can actually mix that material with, let's say, rice straw, rice straw. So the leftover material from after uh, taking the grains from the rice. So that it has high carbon and doesn't have any nitrogen. So now you can see that if you are growing and using only rice straw as feedstock for biogas production, you don't have enough nitrogen. On the other hand, you have the food waste, which has too much nitrogen and less carbon. So you can mix them together so that you have the carbon nitrogen ratio of 30. So it should be always 30 carbon and 1 nitrogen. And that's how you can actually optimize the co-digestion process. It not only improves the process, but also improves the methane yield. And if you have two waste streams that you have to send them to landfill or you have to pay to get it disposed, now you can see that you actually manage them together and you are reducing the cost for the disposal if you are using it on your own biogas plant. Right? Did I answer your?
Is that answer your question? Afif saying? Just give emoticon if you shy to maybe yes, right?
Yes.
Is there any question for Pak Prasad related to biogas? Mm,
Right. Okay,
okay.
good.
So,
Thank you. Thank you very much. And hope we can have one more lecture when you have time. One more? Yes, one
there's
more.
one
Okay.
more.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Said. All right. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pak Prasad, for your.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Danny. And we'll catch up again. Thank you very much. See you
Okay, thank you
guys.
very much. Bye bye, Pak Prasad. See you next time. Oke, ini habis ini ada presentasi kedua ya. Untuk yang mau join silakan join. Ini belum join ya, Bram ya, Tarisa?
Belum, Bu. Ini lagi mau saya hubungi lagi coba.
Oke. Bisa ikut ke kelas kedua atau yang untuk kelas material, kalau mau ada kelas lain juga bisa. Terima kasih ya semua ya, ditunggu reportnya ya. Sambil kita tunggu Pak Bram jam 1.15.